Well, greetings folks, and welcome back to the Ironkerbal challenge. This is part 2, and I'm Ian. So in part 1, I'd successfully launched my first flight with Valentina at the helm, and we've got a reasonable amount of science from it. Not quite as much as I would have liked, but 24 is not bad for a first mission, so just looking here to see what I can unlock. Basic rocketry is going to be useful, so I'm going to have that, and I'm going to use all three of those parts, so I'll purchase them right away. Engineering, there's some very useful stuff in here, more science, but I'm not sure I'm going to want the Mark 1 cockpit, so I'm only going to buy the other items individually, save on a little bit of money. So those will all be essential to many missions in the future. And unfortunately, because we didn't get 25 science, we don't have enough to unlock survivability, which is a real shame because I would have liked those radial shoots. Never mind, we'll get it soon enough. So, I'm just checking, and there's no new missions. Got a few days before the launch pad is ready. So let's just time accelerate through that. So it's time to plan a new mission, and I want to get some more science. I want to get some more altitude and speed records. But before I do that, I also want to know how long I've got. So this is the Transfer Window Planner mod, and it allows you to calculate, well, it calculates for you, best time to launch missions to various other planets. And as you can see, you can then click the Add KAC Alarm button, and after you've plotted your transfer, you can then add that alarm to the alarm clock. So what I'm doing is I'm going through all the bodies in the solar system that I'm going to want to visit as part of this challenge, and I'm adding alarms so that I know when's my first good opportunity to set a spaceship off to go and visit those places. So the first one you can see is Duna in 225 days. So hopefully we'll have got enough science and progress by then to send a mission out to Kerbal's equivalent of Mars. Yeah, still no new missions, so we've got to get a bit higher. Get those altitude and distance and speed records. And a little bit more science. So, time to build a new ship. Now, in my simulator, I have designed this for the next stage of the missions, but I haven't unlocked those radial shoots yet because we didn't get quite enough science from the first mission. So we're going to have to take those off, and I think we've got everything else, but I'm not sure that that one little parachute can land 2 materials bays safely back on the surface. So I'm going to take one out, because otherwise the craft's going to just be too heavy. And anything else I should change here? Is that going to land safely? Yeah, let's just change this down to 2 mystery goo. Then it'll get a little bit higher. If we put an antenna on it, then we can transmit a crew report. And I like to rotate my antennae so they don't point out at the side, at least when they're not shrouded by a fairing. But yeah, we'll take Jeb this time. He could do with some experience, and it's his turn. So just rename that because it's not the stock model I designed. Save it, and we'll be going to the launch pad. So I could do the materials-based science here. I haven't done it yet, but I'll get more science from it if I get that materials-based. If I do that experiment further out in space or in the air or anywhere but here. But I haven't done the goo canister yet, and I've got a couple of those on here. So I've done the goo. Take off. Haven't bothered to throttle up because it makes no difference with solid rocket boosters. But you'll notice that, or you might notice that this SRB is not going at full throttle, and that's because in the design I toned it down so that it would burn for longer rather than sending the rocket too far supersonic. So more records. Those fins keeping it nice and stable. Don't think we're going to get the altitude record though. Oh, yep, 7,500. We've got that. Distance record achieved. And I'll get right to the top and take the materials based science as high as I can get. And we're just turning over and grab that science. 10.5. Take that. Crew report. Transmit that back so we can do another one on the way down. I also went in this direction so that we'll land in the water, which is a softer landing than on the ground, and that should stop the materials bay from exploding, because you can land a little bit harder in the water. And no exploding. Excellent. So there's some science. Aha, goo escapes into the water. And we're actually in the water, so this is a different biome from the shores where Valentina landed, even though she got wet too. So more science. We'll hang on to it, I guess. And then Jeb has to get out and do the old dance. EVA report whilst flying. Take and store the data. Yeah. EVA report from face down in Kerbin's water. Now, am I going to be able to get back in? Come on, Jeb, you can do it. Okay, maybe you can't do it. Let's recover Jeb. So we'll get the science from his EVAs. And then just over there on the horizon we can see the tag for the ship and recover that as well. And then we get the rest of our lovely science. We weren't too far away, so we got most of the value of those parts back, 97.5%. And let's just set up our reminder for when the launch pad is next ready to go. Okay, so we've got more science. We can unlock survivability with the all-important heat shield. If we want to escape the atmosphere, we're going to need it. Stability's kind of useful. But so is general rocketry with the bigger SRBs Stability or general rocketry? Yeah, we'll go for stability. At least that gives us those radial decouplers, so we can put SRBs on the side of future rocket designs. So that's it. Take care. I'll see you next time.